Hello and welcome to another episode of GP Ka Funda. When students are applying for CAT and other India entrance exams, every year I find students calling me up and saying, "Sir, ये गलती हो गई, क्या करें? अब how do I have filled up wrong marks, for example, or I have done some other mistake. What should I do now?" Now this is something which is completely avoidable. And so today हम लोग यही बात करेंगे कौन सी 10 चीजें हैं जिसका अगर आप ख्याल रखेंगे, if you don't neglect a few these 10 things, you will not have an issue at all. You will be able to fill up your form and you will not face any problems at the time of interview, at the time of final admission. Okay. So let's look at each one of them one by one. Now, the first thing is communication. What is your main mode of or medium of communication? It is email. So it is the email which is your main or the chief medium of communication. Uh, for example, your admit card will come on email. आपको इंटरव्यू कॉल लेटर ईमेल पे आएगा, आपको फाइनल कॉल लेटर ईमेल पे आएगा. सो ईमेल इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट आइटम फॉर यू एंड माय सजेशन इज एक अलग ईमेल आईडी बना लो ना एमबीए एडमिशंस के लिए. फॉर एग्जांपल, my regular email ID, official email ID is gp@careerlauncher.com. In addition to this, I have a personal email ID, and which obviously I'm not sharing for obvious for the obvious reasons. I can create a separate email ID like this gpcat2022@xyz.com, Gmail, whatever you are happy with, बना लो. क्यों ये जरूरी हो जाता है? क्योंकि अगर आपके रेगुलर वर्क या पर्सनल ईमेल के अंदर ही आपको ये सब आएगा तो मिस होने का चांस बहुत होता है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, लास्ट ईयर आई रिमेंबर स्टूडेंट्स टेलिंग मी, सर एडिट विंडो था, मैं मिस कर गया. क्यों? मेल तो आया था बट इट गॉट लॉस्ट. So please remember, creating a separate email ID is not going to cost you anything. एक अलग ईमेल आईडी बनाओ, इसी के अंदर आपका सब होना चाहिए. दिस इज योर गोइंग टू बी योर मेन ईमेल आईडी फॉर ऑल कम्युनिकेशन फॉर द एमबीए एंट्रेंसेस. द अदर ह्यूज एडवांटेज ऑफ क्रिएटिंग अ सेपरेट ईमेल आईडी इज, जैसे ही आपने कैट का फॉर्म भरा, आपको मैं गारंटी दे देता हूं कि 2 से 3 महीने में ये पब्लिक हो जाएगा. योर ईमेल आईडी विल बिकम पब्लिक प्रॉपर्टी एंड आपको बहुत जल्दी इसमें आपको ईमेल जाएंगी किसकी? फ्रॉम इंस्टीट्यूट्स. All institutes, 5,000 MBA institutes in India, many of them will start sending you email कि भैया प्लीज हमारा अप्लाई कर दो. And you will be your regular email ID, whether it is work or personal email ID, will be flooded with such junk. So it is important to segregate your safeguard your personal and work email ID so that all that junk, if it comes only here. And यहाँ पे आप obviously you can keep sending them to the spam folder or the junk folder as the case may be. Okay. So my first thing is create a separate email ID. Don't go with your regular work or personal email ID. It is not worth it. A new email ID is always going to be very helpful. Second thing is you'll also need an alternate email ID and mobile number. Alternate email ID की क्या अहमियत है? This is to ensure that important communication goes here also so that you don't miss it. So alternate email ID में again don't put your personal or other email ID or your work email ID. Give the email ID of someone who is close to you, whom you can trust. It could be your parents. It could be the email ID of your parents. It could be the email ID of your siblings. It could be email ID of your, let's say, friend. Someone whom you have trust or you can have faith on, जो इसको मिसयूज नहीं करेगा. एंड मोर इम्पोर्टेंटली, अगर आप मिस कर गए उस कम्युनिकेशन को, वो आपको बताएगा ये एडमिट कार्ड आ गया, तुमने देख लिया कि नहीं. That is what is important out here. So my suggestion is alternate email ID should be of someone. You can create a new email ID also, but then give access to one of these people so that they will be able to also keep a track of the important communications coming to you. Okay? I don't expect you to create another mobile number. So again, this mobile number will be one of these people so that, as I said, no communication loss will be there. That's the first and the foremost thing I would say. Okay? अगली चीज पे आ जाते हैं. Okay. Again, application वगैरह आपको ऑनलाइन भरनी है. And if you have to do an online application, all the documents will be required, will be soft copies. तो क्या करो? पहला काम करो भैया, एक फिजिकल फाइल बनाओ. यहाँ इस पे आते हैं. Create a physical file of all your important documents. Okay? Originals. All the originals will be here. Why do you need to create this? Obviously, originals will be verified at the time of interview and at the time of admission. So, but in originals key, scan copies. Scan all the originals and put them in the computer in a folder. For example, I'm suggesting it could be a folder called MBA Admissions 2023. इसके अंदर 4 या आप चाहो तो ज्यादा भी सब फोल्डर बना सकते हो. Proofs में क्या आना चाहिए? मेरे ख्याल से, फॉर एग्जाम्पल, योर कैटेगरी, EWS, SC, ST, OBC and PWD, your category वाला चीजें आ सकती हैं इसके अंदर. Your work experience proof can come out here. Mark sheets, I'm sure it is self-explanatory. You could have, if you want subfolders for 10th, 12th and graduation. Okay. And when I say 10th, 12th graduation, not only your mark sheets, but also your certificates. 10th class certificate, 12th class certificates, etc. Again, everyone will want you to upload a photograph and signature, so soft copy बना के पहले रख लो ना. And exam folder is very, very important. Have a separate subfolder for each exam. Let me just explain वो क्यों चाहिए और उसके अंदर क्या होगा. For example, you could have one folder for CAT, another one for ZAT, then let's say IFT, let's say SNAP, TIS, NMAT, and any exam that you are taking, उसका एक folder बना लो पक्का. ठीक है? What can you put out here? You can definitely have the information bulletin. Okay? Information bulletin of that particular exam. But more importantly, this is where you will save your admit card. So जब भी admit card आएगा, download and save it here. Before that also, when you are applying, after you apply, you will get fee confirmation. Okay? Email भी आएगा, but उसको download करके put it out here so that it is in a single place. Otherwise, later on you will be hunting for it. So fee confirmation will be there. आपका जो application था, उसका PDF download करिए. Download that PDF. So all these things for CAT, for that, every institute, in fact, you apply, it will be there. For example, CAT is an exam, but when you have to apply for, let's say, MDI, create another folder for MDI. So this will become a live thing. जैसे जैसे आप apply करते हैं, folder बनते जाएंगे. ये वाली चीज एक तरह से constant रहेगी. But as I said, you need scanned copies for each of them, and also you need to make sure your physical file is ready, because physical file will be verified at the time of the interview and the final admission. Okay. Now let's look at the important stuff that you need to have. Okay. First, as I said, category certificate. EWS, PWD, NCOBC. Yes, there's a SC/ST also. I should have mentioned that. Okay. But इसमें खास चीज है जो आपको याद रखना है. EWS and NCOBC are different from the others. Why? It is, these have to be renewed regularly. लास्ट ईयर आप EWS कैटेगरी में आते थे, इस साल आते हैं कि नहीं, ये नया सर्टिफिकेट है. Similarly, NCOBC, it is not an OBC certificate. Your OBC certificate is fixed. Whatever your caste or whichever caste you belong to, वो तो ठीक है. लेकिन आप नॉन क्रीमी लेयर हो कि नहीं, ये तो हर साल वेरीफाई होगा. So NCOBC and EWS certificates have to be by and large renewed every year. Last year's certificate may not be may not work this year. So please remember, ये वाले certificates आप एक बार check कर लीजिए. अगर requirement है तो please apply for them immediately. Till then, you can use the old certificate, and CAT की website में there's an undertaking also. We'll come to that later on. There's an undertaking you can give if you are not able to get the latest one. But my suggestion is, अभी आप नहीं भी डालोगे चल जाएगा, इंटरव्यू में तो चाहिए होगा. Please don't delay. Apply for NCOBC, EWS certificates immediately as per the requirement. And if you can't get them in time, that's okay. Apply on the basis of undertaking. But इसकी application चली जानी चाहिए है. Second thing, conversion formula. This is a huge problem. Multiple boards and universities, and हर एक के अपना अलग तरीका है. For example, CBSE says the class 10th के लिए whatever grades you have, if you multiply grade with 9.5, it will become your percentage. Similarly, others will have some other kind of a formula. Universities have other formula. So for all the institutes that you're going to apply, all the exams that you're going to apply, they will not look at grade, they want percentage. It is percentage that is important for them. Okay? So what you have to do is, आप पहली काम करो, अपनी marksheet check करो. Your marksheet will typically give the conversion formula. So conversion formula marksheet में होगा. वहां पे नहीं है तो what will you do? Go to the website of your board or college or university, as the case may be. There it will be given. So please take a printout, download, keep in your file, and save the soft copy in your on your desktop in the folder itself. Okay. So ये बहुत जरूरी है. Sooner or later you will need it, because you may say I have a grade point CGPA of 8.2. Whether it converts to a 92% or 82% or 72%, that will be given only by the conversion formula. And I'm sure all of you know that based on your marks in 10th 12th graduation you will get certain points based on which you will possibly be shortlisted or may not be shortlisted, बट वो पॉइंट्स आपके क्या होंगे डिपेंड करेगा कन्वर्जन फॉर्मूला पे, इसलिए ये जान मालूम होना बहुत जरूरी है. थर्ड थिंग, proof of work experience is essential. When I say proof of work experience, पहली चीज हमें याद रखना है, it does not matter whether you are salaried, you are self-employed यानी अपना कुछ काम कर रहे हो या फैमिली बिजनेस में काम कर रहे हो, प्रूफ तो चाहिए है. आप ये नहीं कह सकते मैं 2 साल से काम कर रहा हूं लेकिन मेरे पास कोई प्रूफ नहीं है. नो, you need to give a proof. The easiest is obviously for the first one and the third one. If you are salaried, you will have an appointment letter. Okay? If you are salaried, you will have an appointment letter. You will get your salary slips also regularly. You can take an experience letter from your office also. But this is something जो मैं बोलूंगा मत लेना कि बहुत से offices में companies में they don't like it when you take experience letter for CAT etc. And I'm sure many of you may not want to tell your colleagues and seniors at office that you're taking CAT. So keep it for the end. But your appointment letters, salary slips, your promotion letters or increment letters और एनी एप्रिसिएशन लेटर सबकी फाइल बना लो एंड उसकी स्कैन करके अपने वर्क एक्सपीरियंस के प्रूफ में डाल दो. सिमिलर द सेम थिंग विल बी ट्रू फॉर फैमिली बिजनेस ऑल्सो. भैया फैमिली बिजनेस है तो अपॉइंटमेंट लेटर बनवा लो ना पिताजी से, सैलरी स्लिप्स निकलवा लो ना, एक्सपीरियंस लेटर तो मिल ही जाएगा आपको. सो एंड मेक श्योर दैट देयर इज अ डिफाइंड रोल फॉर यू. व्हाई अ डिफाइंड रोल इज हेल्पफुल? बिकॉज जब आप इंटरव्यू में जाओगे तब आपको ये पूरे फैमिली बिजनेस के बारे में तो मालूम होना चाहिए, लेकिन डिफाइंड रोल होगा तो वहां पे एक्सपेक्टेड होगा कि आपको अच्छी नॉलेज हो एंड देन रादर देन फोकस ऑन द एंटायर बिजनेस दे विल वांट टू फोकस ऑन दैट स्पेसिफिक एरिया. सो आई होप दैट सैलरीड एंड फैमिली इज नॉट एन इशू. एंड बहुत लोग ये गलती करते हैं, लास्ट ईयर आई वाज अ हार्ड स्टूडेंट, 2 years of work experience, did not claim, but it was family business. Why? फैमिली बिजनेस भी बिजनेस है भाई, काम किया है तुमने तो उसका आपको बेनिफिट मिलेगा. Remember, points are given for months of work experience provided you can give the proof that you have. Otherwise, आपने अभी डाल दिया और इंटरव्यू के टाइम पे आप प्रूफ नहीं दे पाए तो आपकी इंटरव्यू कॉल रद्द हो जाएगी. Okay? So this is with respect to people who are salaried or who are in their family business. Okay? Now let me look at the self-employed people. Self-employed का क्या मतलब? मैं अपना स्टार्टअप चला रहा हूँ या अपना कुछ कंसल्टिंग करता हूँ. Either way, okay, you will have some kind of a registration. For example, GST registration हो सकता है आपका, MSME registration हो सकता है. In any case, if it's a company, you will have a memorandum of articles and association. Okay. Similarly, if you are a partnership or a deed, then the partnership firm, you will have a partnership deed. Okay. Or if you are a proprietorship firm, then आपके पास income tax returns होंगे. Please remember, you're saying मैं work कर रहा हूं, मैं काम करता हूं, मेरे एक्सपीरियंस है, कोई वैल्यू नहीं है. It has to be backed up by data. सिमिलरली अगर आपकी स्टार्टअप है तो स्टार्टअप का कहीं रजिस्ट्रेशन होगा, उसको लेके आइए. सो प्लीज हैव द प्रूफ अवेलेबल. You can claim work experience whether you are salaried or self-employed or in family business, does not matter. You can claim work experience in all 3 cases, but आपको बैकअप करना होगा with proof. That is what you need to be clear about. Okay. Last thing which you should do is a photograph. क्या बचपन की छठी क्लास की तो ठीक नहीं है लगती ना फोटो. Most of the students don't even go for the latest photograph. My suggestion, take a latest photograph. ज़्यादा खर्चा नहीं आएगा. And let that photo be as per CAT specification. The reason is I've seen students struggling at the gate of the CAT center or at the time of interview. The photo does not match. Why? The photo was 4 years old. You have grown, you have changed. I want you to make sure that you look what you are in the photo. That is what you should be there. Okay? So please एक नई फोटो खींच लो, खिंचवा लो, स्कैन करके अपने सॉफ्ट कॉपी में डाल दो. एंड सेम थिंग फॉर योर सिग्नेचर ऑल्सो. Signature, I'm sure, is not going to change, but make sure there's a soft copy of signature and photograph as per the CAT specification in the folder that we have talked about on the computer. Okay, so ये सब चीजें इकट्ठा करके रख लो ताकि तकलीफ नहीं आएगी. Okay, next is your marks. Marks of 10th 12th graduation are very very essential and they will be asked for. Okay, now 10th and 12th marks में एक simple rule है, all subjects. Okay, every year I see students saying, sir, CBSE or Delhi University takes only best of 4, so I just calculated 4. Why? Please read the instructions. 10th and 12th marks, all subjects. If the subject is on your grade sheet, If the subject is mentioned in your mark sheet, it has to be counted. So please remember all subjects to be looked at. Best of 4 नहीं चलेगा, बेस्ट ऑफ 5 नहीं चलेगा. अगर आपके 6 सब्जेक्ट्स है तो 6 के मार्क्स ऐड होंगे, 4 है तो 4 के होंगे. If the subject appears on your grade sheet, it has to be included. So please calculate your percentage based on all subjects, not on the basis of your university or school or board or whatever. Okay. Graduation, however, is as per the university. Okay. Graduation के केस में अगर college, let's say your college says we consider only the marks of second, third and fourth year, we ignore the marks of first year in calculating percentage, that's fine. So graduation marks is as per university, like in 10th and 12th have to be as per all subjects on your grade card. That is the rule to be followed. Don't do anything else. Okay. In addition to these things, when it comes to graduation marks, remember you have to have semester wise. You will typically get semester wise marks. ठीक है, तो भैया हर सेमेस्टर की परसेंटेज पहले ही कैलकुलेट कर लो. ठीक है, and many times you'll find you have to give year wise. If it is year wise, that means year 1 will be equal to semester 1 plus semester 2. Average of the two, that is what you will do. If nothing is mentioned, if there's some formula given by your college कि भाई semester 1 का 40% weightage होगा, semester 2 का 60, तो उस हिसाब से कर दो. बट ये चीजें पहले कैलकुलेट कर लो, बिकॉज दिस इज समथिंग यू नीड एवरी एग्जाम. ओके. हाँ, एक चीज मैं भूल गया जो बोलना चाहिए था इसमें, वो बहुत बार लोगों का आता है कि आई हैव गॉट मल्टीपल क्वालिफिकेशंस. Yes, you have multiple qualifications, and people ask me, I've done CFA, where do I put? You can't. As far as all these MBA entrance exams are concerned, ये 3-4 चीज को लेते हैं. If you have done actuarial sciences, if you are a CA, if you are a ICWA, or if you are the company secretary. These are the only 4 professional degrees or professional qualifications that get considered. CFA नहीं आएगा, FRM नहीं है, आपने नेशनल स्टॉक एक्सचेंज की सर्टिफिकेशन की है वो नहीं है. Where will they be useful? They will be useful in the interview stage. But out here, when they talk about professional qualifications, these are the only 4 that you need to look at. Anything apart from these will not be considered as far as the entrance exams are concerned. Okay. अगले पे आ जाते हैं, एक्सपीरियंस. ये एक एरिया है जहां पे हमेशा घपलेबाजी होती है बाय स्टूडेंट्स, बिकॉज एवरीवन वांट्स टू शो अ हायर वर्क एक्सपीरियंस, चाहे है कि नहीं है. I have talked about this earlier also, but I think it's extremely important, so I will talk about it again. Experience के points कब मिलेंगे? If it is first thing is after graduation. Any work experience before or during graduation will not be counted at all. Second thing, it has to be full time. I am doing part-time work, it is after graduation, I'm sorry, you will not get any points. तीसरी चीज क्या होती है? It has to be paid. And चौथी चीज क्या होती है? यानी अब अपनी श्रम दान कर दिया, उसकी कोई वैल्यू नहीं है. If you are not being paid, it will not be counted as work expense. And final thing is, it should not be a part of your academic curriculum. Okay? Not a part of your academic curriculum. I'll explain this again. When I'm saying again, because I know I explained this multiple times. इसका बहुत सिंपल रूल है. अगर ये फॉर एग्जांपल, ओके, लेट मी टेक अ कपल ऑफ एग्जांपल. इंजीनियरिंग में बीबीए में आपको इंटर्नशिप करनी है. अगर आप वो इंटर्नशिप नहीं करोगे तो आपका कोर्स कंप्लीट नहीं होगा. इट इज नॉट वर्क एक्सपीरियंस. बिट्स पिलानी और बिट्स एज अ होल, दे हैव प्रैक्टिस स्कूल. लास्ट 6 months यू आर वर्किंग इन अ कंपनी. लास्ट 6 months पहले 7 सेमेस्टर कॉलेज किया, आखिरी सेमेस्टर में 6 महीने आपने कंपनी के साथ काम किया. इट इज फुल टाइम, but it is not after graduation, so it is not work experience. Not only that, अगर आप वो प्रैक्टिस स्कूल नहीं करोगे तो आपके एकेडमिक रिक्वायरमेंट पूरी नहीं होगी. So it is a part of your academic curriculum, so it cannot be work experience. Okay? Similar thing would be articleship. Okay, if you are doing articleship in your CA, if you don't do your articleship, you will not complete your CA. So it is a part of your academic curriculum. इसी तरह कंपनी सेक्रेटरी और ICWA कोर्सेज में भी होता है. So please remember, इसी का वर्क एक्सपीरियंस का क्रेडिट, वर्क एक्सपीरियंस क्रेडिट तभी मिलेगा when it is after graduation, it is full time, it is paid, it is not a part of your academic curriculum. बेकार की चीजें उधर डाल के आधा नंबर लेने की कोशिश मत करना, कोई फायदा नहीं होगा. इंटरव्यू के टाइम पे पता चलेगा उनको पसंद नहीं आया and your score goes down and you may be chucked out of the interview itself. Okay. ये बहुत कमाल की चीज होती है. Every year I find people saying मेरे को तो खाली अहमदाबाद, बैंगलोर, कलकत्ता जाना है. कि भाई बाकी में कोई प्रॉब्लम है, चलो है भी तो तुम्हें क्या फर्क पड़ता है। व्हाट कोर्सेज शुड यू अप्लाई? अब ऑल, प्लीज अप्लाई टू ऑल। आंख बंद करके सब पे टिक मार दो, हाँ जिसमें एलिजिबिलिटी नहीं होगी नहीं होगा, कोई बात नहीं। बट बिकॉज इन इफ यू लुक एट द कैट फॉर्म बुलेटिन और द कैट फॉर्म, you will find there are courses of PhD also. चलो PhD मत भरना। There are some subjects, some program which are for working executives, people with work experience, मत भरना। But any program that you are eligible for, please apply to them. Don't leave them in the worst case। क्या होगा, मत जाना यार, तुम्हें कोजी कोड नहीं जाना तो मत जाना, लेकिन उससे इंटरव्यू की प्रैक्टिस तो ले लेना कम से कम। In the worst case, you will get an interview practice from these, and many times I find students initially start on a very high horse and later on they become a little realistic, बोले अच्छा यहाँ तक जा सकते हैं। But अगर आपने फॉर्म ही नहीं भरा, if you have not ticked on that, what are you going to, how are you going to get a call from there? So my rule is very simple: apply all programs that you are eligible for, please apply to all of them. Don't leave them। कुछ एक्स्ट्रा पैसा नहीं लग रहा है, नहीं जाना होगा इंटरव्यू मत जाना, बाद में इंटरव्यू क्लियर ज्वाइन नहीं करना मत करना, अभी प्लीज भर दो, नहीं तो बाद में आप में से कई लोगों को तकलीफ आएगी और ये गिला शिकवा रह जाएगा, काश मैंने उसमें भर दिया होता तो मैं चला जाता। नेक्स्ट चीज, टेस्ट सेंटर एंड इंटरव्यू सेंटर बहुत जरूरी है। सिटी, अब अच्छी चीज ये कर दी है कैट ने, दे आस्क यू टू चूज 6 cities। एक टाइम था जहां पे 3 बोलते थे, बट प्लीज चूज सिटीज केयरफुली, बिकॉज आई नो स्टूडेंट्स हु जस्ट रैंडमली पुट सम सेंटर्स। उससे क्या प्रॉब्लम आती है, गलत सेंटर मिल गया तो आप धक्के खा रहे होगे उस शहर में जाके। सेकेंडली, प्लीज ट्राई टू एस्टिमेट कैट कब होगा, एंड नवंबर। Where will you be in November? If you are studying in college and your college will be on, that is where you should be putting a center, taking a center. Sorry, if your college will be off, you'll be at home. That is where you should be taking a center. So choose it carefully. You remember, can get any one of these 6 cities. ये मत सोचो कि 1, 2 या 3 में से ही मिलेगा। I know of people जिनको 6 की जगह उन्होंने ये कहीं भी नहीं दिया, इसके इनके आसपास वाले एक 7वां भी दे दिया है। It happened with me, in fact, तब 3 सेंटर पूछे जाते थे, 6 नहीं थे। I was given a center called Meerut, and I had to go. And in winters, North India, those of you are from North India, early morning fog is there. Delhi to Meerut, I was driving at something like 30 kilometers per hour, and I was worried पता नहीं टाइम पे पहुंचूंगा भी कि नहीं। जो अक्लमंद लोग थे वो एक दिन पहले जाके वहां पे सो गए थे, which means they would have taken a hotel or a lodge and stayed overnight. But मेरे लिए इतना जोई नहीं था, तो मैं सुबह निकलेंगे, कार चला के चले जाएंगे। So please choose your center carefully, keeping in mind all such factors. And the same thing will be true for the interview center also. Okay, interview centers for each college that you choose, you will have to choose. You will have to decide where you want to be interviewed. Same rule as test center. When will the interviews happen? Interviews will typically happen, let's say Feb, March. Let's say from mid Feb to early April. Okay, let's say 10th Feb to let's say 15th April. This is usually the interview period. Mid-Feb to mid-April is what we are looking for. Please estimate what is the convenient location going to be. Randomly मत मार्क कर देना, फंस जाओगे कहीं ना कहीं। ठीक है, अगली चीज जो है, when in doubt क्या करोगे, नहीं मेरे को मत तंग करना प्लीज, हाँ करोगे बता दूंगा जो मेरा है, but I am not going to be there all the time. What is there with you all the time is this website. दूसरी चीज, just to remind you, FAQs हैं, and there's a registration video and a registration document also. And in case of doubts and queries, for application, payment processing, document uploading, this is the helpline. And for eligibility and other issues, this is the helpline. यहाँ से तो अपने डाउट क्लियर कर सकते हो। उसके बाद भी बचता है कुछ, obviously I and other career launcher faculty members and team, we are always there. You can always connect with us to have it clear. मगर फिर भी गलती तो हो जाती है हमसे। गलती होगी तो क्या करोगे, तुम्हारी ऑप्शंस क्या है? पहली ऑप्शन होती है एडिट विंडो। आफ्टर कैट, normally they will give a 2 to 3 day edit window in which you can open the form and maybe you can make some changes. सब चीज नहीं बदलने देते, some critical things they will allow you to update. For example, you will not be able to change your marks. Okay, percentage marks you will not be able to change. There are limited 3 or 4 things where they allow you to change, just to make sure that you will not become ineligible because एक गलती होगी। Okay, edit window is one place. What is the other opportunity you'll get to rectify? Supposing आपने marks थे 93%, आपने 96% कर दिए, क्या करोगे? At the time of interview, you have to update your forms. So at the time of interview, you can update this kind of a thing. Now उसका एक छोटा सा रिस्क है, Let me assume you have all five subjects is 89%, and if I say five subjects is 89%, and four subjects is 91%. Let me assume. Now let me assume फॉर्म में आपने 91% कर दिया, आपको इंटरव्यू कॉल आ गई, लेकिन जब आप इंटरव्यू पे जाओगे तब ये 89% देख के अगर आपके मार्क्स नहीं सफिशिएंट होंगे तो योर इंटरव्यू कॉल कैन गेट कैंसल्ड, and which is why it is very important that you make sure you don't make a mistake. Supposing आपके 93 आपके actually 90.5% है, that means it does not matter, the points for 90.5% and 91% are the same, then it does not matter. So if it's a minor mistake जिससे आपकी इंटरव्यू कॉल पे कोई इम्पैक्ट नहीं होगा तो it does not matter, but if it is something which can impact your interview call, then obviously there's a chance that you might miss out on that interview, it will get rejected. Okay, so at the time of interview you can always update all this information. And as I said, ईमेल कर दो कैट को एंड आईएम्स को ईमेल कर दो कि मुझसे ये गलती हो गई है, एंड प्लीज इफ पॉसिबल हैव दिस रिकॉर्ड अपडेटेड इन योर रिकॉर्ड्स करके छोड़ दो, क्योंकि कल को वो बोल सकते हैं कि यू डिड नॉट इन्फॉर्म अस, यू कैन ऑलवेज से आई सेंट अ मेल, विल इट बी हेल्पफुल, इट मे और मे नॉट बी, but in the past I've seen a couple of students doing it and they have at least taken that plea, and the interview panel then was a little sympathetic towards them. Obviously these were not mistakes which were of very big nature, which means it was not a mistake कि मैंने अपने मार्क्स 93% लिख दिए जबकि 87 थे, बिकॉज अगर वो होता तो इंटरव्यू कॉल मिस हो जाती. सो दीज आर दी मल्टीपल थिंग्स यू हैव. बट अगर कोई आपने मेजर मिस्टेक कर दी है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल यू हैव गिवन योर मार्क्स एज 92% when your marks in class 10th were let's say 87%, then maybe it is important for you to reapply. Okay, so please see, and CAT helpline will many times tell you in this case you'll have to reapply, and to reapply you'll have to obviously पैसा भी खर्च होगा, नया ईमेल आईडी बनाओगे, सब कुछ करोगे, लेकिन पैसा तो खर्च होगा. बट इन सम केसेस यू मे नीड टू डू इट, व्हिच इज व्हाई इट इज इंपॉर्टेंट टू मेक श्योर गलती करनी क्यों है. गलती कैसे अवॉइड करोगे? पहली चीज यार प्रीव्यू होता है ना, बिफोर यू सबमिट प्लीज प्रीव्यू, डाउनलोड, वेरीफाई, गो थ्रू इट अगेन. मोर इंपॉर्टेंटली जब आप फॉर्म भर रहे हो ना, क्वांट के अंदर मैं बोलता हूँ ना राउंड अप्रोच, राउंड 1, राउंड 2, राउंड 3, यहां भी वो कर लो ना. Don't do the form in one day. On day 1, fill up maybe personal details and couple of other things. Day 2, fill up a few other things. क्योंकि अगर आप एक दिन में पूरा फॉर्म भरने की कोशिश करते हैं तो गलती होने का चांस रहता है हमेशा. So try to fill the form in rounds on and एक बार एक दिन में कुछ भरा, अगले दिन कुछ भरा, अगले दिन कुछ भरा, 2-3 दिन में भर के कंप्लीट करके रख दिया. Now you wait for now you can submit the form if you want. But before you submit, review, make sure everything is correct. And after the form has been submitted, पेमेंट कंफर्मेशन आ गई, पेमेंट कंफर्मेशन को डाउनलोड कर लो, एप्लीकेशन को डाउनलोड करके अपने रिकॉर्ड में रख लो. Okay, but important is review and do it over a period of time. It will not be an issue. Finally, to avoid mistakes, fill early. I see every year students saying ये 14 सितंबर लास्ट डेट है ना, बहुत टाइम है, 10 को शुरू करेंगे. And on the last couple of days you'll see a lot of rush on the website. It is a very heavy traffic, and because of which the site also slows down and you will probably struggle to fill the form. Okay? So please don't delay, fill early. End of August तक फॉर्म भर के निपटा दो ना, भरना तो आई है. Okay, you may have applied for certificate, you are waiting for that certificate, नहीं आया 31 अगस्त तक, कोई बात नहीं, 1 सितंबर को भर के सबमिट करके अंडरटेकिंग के साथ छोड़ दो फॉर्म. There's an undertaking. I hope you are aware of it. Yeah. There's an undertaking format. If you have not noticed, this is an undertaking format. I as having an application number, applying for CAT under the category. You hereby give the undertaking. Because of coronavirus, I am not in a position. I'll provide the required certificate at the time of the interview. Okay. This is only as a special case. Provisions available to applicants willing to apply for CAT 22. This is only for CAT 22. Okay, ये अंडरटेकिंग लो, डाउनलोड करो, भरो, स्कैन करके चिपकाओ कैट फॉर्म में और भेज दो ना, बाद में आएगा सर्टिफिकेट दे देना ना. You need all the originals at the time of interview is something which I am telling you. Don't delay filling up your form. My target would be by end August you should have applied and finished off this particular issue. उससे ज्यादा करोगे तो आपको ही तकलीफ आएगी एंड यू विल एंड अप creating problems for yourself. Okay, so these are the things which I want you to be clear about. Okay, so, yeah, these are the things I want you to be clear about, and that's it from my side. So please follow this process, and hopefully you will not be one of those who will call me, GP sir, I've made this mistake, what should I do? Okay, so all the best, we'll meet again.